is Barb with Barb Ann Designs, and I am going to add to my gallery wall back here, and I'd love it if you jump on and watch with me. Let me pull up my comments here so I can keep track and see what everybody's saying. Did you guys have a happy Easter? We had a nice one. And I'm going to invite Instagram to come on too. So let's see. Hey, Instagram. I've got both you and Facebook here, and we're going to add to my gallery wall back here. I have this big, beautiful gallery wall, and let me see if I can even tilt and show you a little more. Let's see. Hey, hey, hey. There you go. Can you see? So that's the board we're going to do. That big blank one over there, okay? I've got some really fun transfers to do with that, and I think you're going to love it. So let me get things squared away here. So yeah, did you guys have a happy Easter? I had the best Easter because I got surprised really good. We went over to my brother-in-law, sister-in-law's house for my husband's side of the family, and we were there enjoying our time, had eaten. In fact, it was about time for us to leave to go to church. We were going to go to a Saturday night service, and my husband, he riles up all the kids, and all of a sudden I feel this little tap on my, and I looked over and there's a little girl's shoe. She was obviously on the shoulders of somebody behind me, and I just thought it was one of my nieces, actually one of my niece's daughters, so my great nieces. And then they kept tapping at me, and I looked up and looked around, and it was my granddaughter. They had surprised me by driving from Lincoln, Nebraska, which they had to drive an extra hour because of the flooding. And they surprised me. My son surprised me. It was the best ever. So I got to decorate Easter eggs, and she helped me. The next day we were having my family gathering at our house. It was first ever. And she got to help me with that. And so it was just so fun. So I had a really blessed Easter. And I hope you guys did too. Hi, Nancy and Lisa. And Lisa, we got two Lisas. And who's up here on Facebook? Hi, Dawn. And hey, everybody up there. I have a hard time seeing on Instagram, but I'm glad you're joining me. So we're going to do, and I know for you, it's backwards right now. I'm not actually going to use this garden part. I'm going to use this amazing watering can. And then from another transfer, I'm going to use these garden tools. And I'm going to put them on this big board. So I think it's going to be great. I want all of my gallery board back there to be springtime stuff. And I don't know about you, but springtime and flowers are synonymous for me. I've already planted some. In fact, if you're on either Instagram or Facebook, I'd love if you'd let me know. Hey, thank you, Janice. That is so nice of you. I so appreciate you doing that. Let me know what flowers you like to plant in the spring. What is your favorite flower to plant? What have you already planted? And we'll get going here. I have already planted some pansies, and I did some really pretty pots out front that have, oh gosh, they have several different things. They have those green spiky things, some trailing stuff, some sweet potato vines. I love sweet potato vines in a planter. And a couple of other greenery things. And then they have the, I think it's called a psyllum, that little white stuff. And some marigolds and some petunias. And yeah, I think that's what I planted in those. But then I've planted some pansies, and I had to buy this beautiful pot of hydrangeas. It was just amazing. So yeah, I had a great time planting, and I still have more to do because that's just what spring is. But tonight we're going to do the watering can and gardening tools. Now these are brand new chalk transfers. This is from Chalk Couture. If you don't know, in fact, if this is your first time watching, I'd love it if you'd put hashtag first time. And if you're catching the replay on Facebook, I'd love it if you would put hashtag replay. And I love it. It's such a blessing on Facebook when you guys do the thing that lets other people know what's going on. I can't say it anymore because Facebook dings you now for asking for anything, which, you know, I kind of get. Okay, so I have pulled off my transfer here. And now I'm going to turn it over. See how sticky it is the first time? Well, to get a little bit of the stick, not quite as intense, I gotta make sure I've got the right side up. I don't. This is a fuzzing cloth, and the other side is a microfiber cloth. And so I'm just gonna lay this down here and fuzz it up. And I'll do the other side. It just takes a little of the extra stick off, which is helpful the first few times you use it, or if you're doing any layering. So I'm just gonna lay that down. You can use a towel, you can use your clothing. Hydrangeas, iris. Okay, now we had this discussion before if you've watched any of my lives. I used to call peonies, peonies. It's the way my mom always said it. So, oh good, a succulent lover. I almost bought some succulents today, Sylvia. How about you guys? What else? Okay, I've got that fuzzed up pretty good, so I'm going to set it aside and get my board down here. And then we'll get started on this. So my board's just hanging up here. So I'm gonna put it down on my work surface. And then I'm gonna go ahead and keep you on this angle while I do this. Instagram, I know you can see this pretty good. Facebook, so. I am going to just drape that on there. I haven't pressed it down because I want to position it. So I'm going to just, I always think it's kind of like flinging out a sheet when you're going to fold it. And I think I might need to stand up to get it just where I want it. I'm going to put it towards the bottom because I have a game plan. I think you guys are going to like my game plan. I think it's not, well, I think it's silly. My game plan is, after I get this done, this is a magnetic board. Chalk Couture boards, this is a Chalk Couture board. And Chalk Couture boards are magnetic. They are steel coated. There's porcelain coated steel, and they're amazing, and they're magnetic. And so I am going to make some paper flowers, and I am going to put magnets on the back of them, and then I'm going to put some flowers coming out the top of my watering can. I think that's going to be super fun. But first we're going to chalk it. So I've got it all down. I'm going to move a few things out of the way. Sunflowers. Vicki, I love sunflowers too. I've never tried to plant any. But, and I would love to grow lavender, but I have never had luck doing that either. Okay, so there you go, Facebook. I'm going to give you the view of that. And then Instagram, I'm going to tilt it down. I know it's going to be upside down for you, which I apologize for. It's just hard. Oh, and I got the camera in the way there. Trying to double up and it gets a little crazy. All right, I'm just going to, for the watering can, I'm going to do white. And then I'm going to do teal for the gardening tools. That's what I decided ahead of time. Now I'm having a little second thought and wondering if I should do a gray color instead for the watering can. Why don't you guys tell me what you think? Hi, Nancy. Now, Dawn, which are you on? Oh, no, that was a different Dawn. I have a Dawn on Instagram and a Dawn on Facebook. Do you think I should do gray or white? Now that I had it all planned out to do white, I'm having a second thought. Let me even see if I have a gray over here that I like. You know what I could even do? Let's see. You know, if I did this fresh linen, it's a little, I think maybe that'd be better. Instead of doing white, okay, I've changed my game plan. I am going to do this fresh linen color. It's a little gray tone, and I think it'll be perfect. That's a good idea there. Okay, this jar has not been opened, and they're tricky to, well, they're not tricky. It's just the easiest way to get them open. We have requested pull tabs. I hope they're gonna tell us they've got that in the works. But if you just cut one side, then you can pull it away. Pull that foil away. But that keeps it nice and sealed. Now the first time you're going to use a Chalk Couture paste, it's going to be in great need of stirring. And I love a fresh chalk paste because it's like you start stirring and the air distributes around it and you can almost hear it crackle. I don't know why I love it so much, but I do. And then it gets super duper creamy. This stuff is amazing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like this little gray tone instead of a stark white. I don't know what I was thinking. But I still wanna do the gardening tools in teal. Who wouldn't want teal gardening tubes? Gardening tools. Oh, had a little bit of a brain craziness there. Okay, so now I'm going to take, I think I'm going to use my angled squeegee. And I am going to just put some chalk paste around the top and bring it down and spread it around. I'm just going to put it where the opening is. There's no need to, do it all the way across. So I'm going to kind of swirl around that handle there. And that is more than plenty, but look how quickly I can make this beautiful gardening can. And the beautiful thing is, I can use this transfer over and over again. So now I'm simply scraping the chalk paste thin. I'm putting all that extra back in my jar. So if you're watching and you have any interest, you can go to chalkcouture.com/barbanddesigns and find out all about it. Okay, now I'm going to pull the transfer up, and then I have a tub of water over here that I'm going to stick it in. And it's so tempting to pull on this corner over here, but you really want to pull on a straight edge. So I'm going to go along the side and pull. And we'll reveal this beautiful watering can. This first one is a tight pull because that transfer is so adhesive backed. Probably should have fuzzed it just a little bit more, but I'm just going to do some gentle, slow pulling so I don't stretch the transfer. All right. And then I'm going to stick it in the water because after I wash it and it dries off, it can be used over and over again. So I have a tub of water back here. I'm just going to stick that in there. And later I'll take it over to my bigger sink, since it's a bigger transfer, and wash it off. But look how gorgeous. Let me see if I can give you a better view there. And, sorry. Ta-da! Look at that. Gorgeous. All right, now I am going to actually give it a little bit of a shot of heat, just because I don't want to move my big board, and I need to fuzz these up. And I also, they might be overlapping it just a little bit. And so if they are, then I don't want that to pull this up. Now I'm definitely going to fuzz these a little bit better, because I sure did not on the last one. So now that this is dry, I can place my fuzzing cloth right on top of it. And I dropped one of my tools over here. And we're going to fuzz these up well. So I'm just peeling it off its backing. And we're going to set it down. I wonder what color of flowers I should make with the teal tools. I could make it multicolor flowers, just all sorts. That could be fun. So I'm just laying this down, pressing it and fuzzing it. Okay. Now we'll set it over here where it goes. And I think I'm going to have these a little more centered, because once I get the flowers in the watering can, then that's going to be more centered. It won't look quite right until those flowers are in there, which you could so easily do flowers with a Chalk Couture transfer. I've seen many people do that, and it's just beautiful. But I thought, well, this would be a fun way to use magnets and make it a little 3D. So again, I'm just fuzzing this up. And now we'll stick it down. And I wasn't centered the best. I could have had my watering can moved over a little bit this way. But that's okay. I'm not going to worry about that. All right. It is so pretty on the black board, isn't it? So now I have, this is an older jar of chalk paste. It's the Thai teal. I still am using up some of my 2-ounce size of chalk paste. And by keeping them stirred with some water, they're still good to go. But now we sell 3-ounce, so it's a much better value. So I'm just going to scrape that across and pull that up, and voila, beautiful. Okay, then I'll stick that in. Alrighty, now I get this. And if I wanted to, I could put a word or something like the word grow across the watering can, but I think I'll do the flowers first to decide how it looks with everything and decide if I want to do it. So if you have never seen this amazing product, Chalk Couture, it's so crazy. Beautiful, beautiful designs. They're silk screen, adhesive backed transfers. They're like stencils, except there's not just an opening. It's an actual silk screen. So that's how you can get all this amazing detail. And because they are reusable, they are an amazing value, and yet it's going to give you this beautiful high-end decor project. So if you love DIYing, if you like doing it yourself, but yet you want things to be amazing, to wow your family, friends, neighbors, Chalk Couture is for you. And it's they just have so many beautiful designs. They just came out with a whole new set of transfers, and it's just amazing. Now here's the great thing too. Right now I'm doing my gallery wall in my studio, all springtime transfers. If you can see right back here, I've got a bunny looking in a truck with some flowers pouring out. There's carrots in the back of the truck. I've got some bumblebees over there. I have Sweet Spring back here. And this one up here above that is just in pastel colors. Well, the great thing with Chalk Couture is in, a couple months when I'm ready to make it all a summer themed, I can just take these one by one and I can wipe them off and they're good to go. They are literally clean slates that you can do a new project on. So this is the start of my board. I didn't plan to get the flowers in here yet, and yet I'm feeling like this is a short video. So do you guys want to have me stay on and make some of the paper flowers and put them on? What I'm going to do is super simple. It's just making some paper flowers and then putting magnets on the back, and they're going to be coming out of the watering can. And like I said, I've got this word garden. And I have another word that says grow. So I could even put that on top of this with a teal color. So, okay, I have one person voting for me to make the flowers. So I think we'll do that. The only way I know to do this, and I actually should wash my transfer first. So I'm going to do a couple things. First of all, Instagram, I am going to tell you that you should go over to Facebook and check out Barban Designs. I'm going to stay live there. If you are just scrolling through, then look on my actual feed and you'll see a lot of projects. And if you have any interest, just check it out at chalkcouture.com/Barban Designs. That's in my bio. And but I'm going to say so long to you, Instagram, because I can't carry 2 tripods. And but you can continue watching at Facebook if you like, or you can check it out later. If you have any questions, just direct message me, and I will see you. Okay, Facebook, I ended that. Now I'm going to take you solo, and we are going to do some crazy stuff here, okay? I'm going to take you along on the journey of doing this, because, you don't want to just sit there staring at stuff, right? So I'm going to come in here to my workstation. It's a little dark in here. I apologize about that. But I'm going to come back. Here, I'll show you my crazy work. Okay, over here I've got on just a cart on wheels. I can pull my transfers back into my workroom. into my workroom, sloshing a little water, but that's okay. And, oh, this bump. I wish this bump wasn't here. All right, now, let me get you guys. I hope I'm not making you nauseous by doing this. Okay, so over here, I have my sink and my tub of water, and it's already got water in it. And if you don't have one of these erasers to clean your transfers, you should get one because they just make it so easy. So I'm going to go ahead and wash off these guys instead of just leaving them soaking in the water. You know, it's okay if you leave them for a while, but the best way to take care of your transfers is to wash them right away, not just leave them sitting, and then you can get back to the work. Okay, I have this great thing with the sink too. I'm going to utilize. It has this tray on the top that I can stretch things out on and not have to bend over. It's so amazing. Now I've got my transfer stuck a little bit here, so I'm just going to put some warm water on that and grab it close to where it's stuck and gently pull, trying not to stretch the transfer. And almost there. That's the trouble with putting a large transfer in a small tub of water. Okay. And, you know, if you were just doing this, a great place to do this would be at your kitchen sink with a large transfer, or you could even toss it in the bathtub. But I love this sink. I'm able to easily rinse off my transfers. So after you get them clean, you can take a bacterial wipe to them. Not a baby wipe, a bacterial wipe. And that will also get them nice and clean. Okay, so now that I've done that, let's find some paper and the things we need to make the paper flowers. All right, so I don't think I can turn this around here. Maybe I can. Let me see. I don't know. I do everything on something else. I'm afraid if I hit a button, I'll lose you. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to try and show you. Okay, so over here, I have lots of paper, but let's see what colors. We did that teal. I'm thinking some purple would be really pretty. A couple shades of purple. Maybe some kind of this blue is kind of fun. And maybe a soft teal to pull in the teal from the... I'm just going to grab a little bit of every color into the rainbow. Definitely want some pinks. And that's kind of bright. Sorry I didn't think about doing this before. I'm sorry this is such a crazy angle. Get some yellow. Maybe some peach. I don't think I want red. What do you guys think? I'm sorry that's such a bad angle. Okay, I've got some paper. Hot glue guns in there. Magnets. I've got right here. Go ahead and grab some of those. And then I'm going to use some paper punches and just some, let's see, I'm trying to think out loud here. Okay, I promise this will get better. you're going to be rewarded for hanging with me on this. All right, over here, flower punches. Okay, this is my, oh, it's stuck. You know this is going to be heavy. And it's hard to do with one hand. Okay, oh, okay. I think we're set, guys. I just crashed. Too crazy. It seems like my lives are getting a little more crazy and out of hand. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too comfortable. Okay. I'm going to set you guys back down. Okay. Now, I'm just going to leave this here because then we can decide how many we're doing. But I am going to cover it a little bit with here. Oh, thank you, Judy, for sharing. You guys are the best to hang tight with me while I do this. Now, what in the world happened to my iPad that keeps directions of everything? Oh, hold tight. Hold tight. I lost my control center. I don't know why I felt the need to take it in there, but I did. And, okay, I'm back. All right, this craziness has ended. I promise. All right, let's see if we can get this going. Oh. Why are we not working? Oh. Okay, I'm just going to do that because I can't seem to get it to work any other way. Let me grab... Oh, was the sound a mess while I was running around like a crazy person? Probably was. I have all sorts of paper punches that we'll use. Let me just get a bunch of them out and over here, and we'll see what we have. And I better plug in my hot glue gun. So that we can glue the magnets on. So I've got that going. And wow, I wore myself out doing that. So who stayed with me? Oh my gosh, some of you actually stayed. I can't believe it. All right, so, hey, I got that the way I wanted. So we're just gonna use different paper punches. Lots of times I cut out flowers by hand. Lots of times I cut them on a digital cutting machine. But I have a bunch of punches and it just seems like I should use some of them. So let's see what colors. I'm liking this purple a lot. Let's use that for some flowers. And I'm going to show you a couple of fun techniques that you can do with the flowers. I am looking for, there's a punch I was looking for that I seem to have lost. Of all the ones I want or have, I don't have the one I want. Okay, we're just gonna move forward. Okay, so I am just going to punch out some flower petals. This one always likes to rip. It gets caught in there. right, and then what we're going to do, I need some, here I'll use a paintbrush. Lots of times I'll get my larger flowers, I get wet. These, they're so small that you can just give them some curl and dimension by using like the end of a pencil or like I'm using the end of a paintbrush to just give them some curl and depth. See how that looks a little different now? You had flat, and now you've got some dimension just by curling out like you do ribbon. You know, just rubbing your thumb, and then you can even take and indent it down a little bit. And it shouldn't look perfectly symmetrical, because what flower is perfectly symmetrical, right? So we can make some flowers out of this. I really only need 3, because now let's see if I've got glue already. I'm going to put a little dab of glue in the center, and then I'm going to offset the petals and just layer those 3. Just like that. Now, I could do all sorts of things for a center. I could do buttons. I could do jewelry. I'm going to go ahead and glue this onto a magnet back. I could just do so many different things. And then once you have it on there, you can scrunch it and play it some more with different things. I think I'm going to keep this all paper. And so I've got this little tiny. I'm just going on the fly here, guys. I really don't have a game plan. So I've got this little guy. I'm going to just punch several of him out and kind of wad them a little bit and scrunch them. And then I can put some glue in the center here and just add them in there. Carefully, trying not to burn myself. Let's see, I'm gonna get my skewer. I love to use a skewer when working with paper flowers. So I think I need quite a few of those in there, so I gotta punch some more. And put a little more glue down. And I'm just gonna try and scrunch them up a little while I stick them in there. And that gives a cute little center. I'll hold it up close for you in a second. Yeah, I think that works. So there's flower number 1. I already have a magnet on the back of it. And so we can set it on our board and it just clips right on there. Okay, let's do a different flower. Is what plastic? Judy, I am making this big sign with Chalk Couture, and I'm taking and I'm putting some flowers on it. This, if you were asking, is that plastic? This is a wooden skewer. And, you know, just the kind that you get at the grocery store. Okay, so now I have this punch. It's a little different. They always get tangled when they're like this. And again, it's always just kind of good to have 3, it seems like, is what works best. And you know what? I'm going to use that for another flower. I'm actually going to use my skewer this time because it's a little thinner. And I'm going to take and just curl See how I'm just kind of bending back the little petals? And scrunching them up there. So I'll do that with each one, just like I did for the other. I'll make a couple of hand cut ones too, so that you can see you can do different flowers without even having paper punches. And you can do them big, you can do them little. Okay, so I have these three going here. Oh no, I have a low battery. I need to go grab a cord for this phone so it doesn't die on me here. Just give me 1 second to do that and we'll be good. Luckily, I have a cord right here. Alrighty. There we go. Now that won't go away on us. Alright, so same thing here. I'm going to just put dabs of glue and then offset how the petals are arranged. You have just a short second with the hot glue to move it around. And scrunching is the name of the game here. Scrunching and even separating a little bit from the ones on the bottom. So I'm trying to grab, I broke a nail today, even worse than it was broken before. I'm feeling a little crippled. Okay, so maybe let's use this extra purple one that I have for that and see what we come up with. I don't know if I want them all to be scrunchy like that though. Let me think. Maybe I do want to put some buttons or jewelry in here in some of them. Let me go grab my stash and see what we've got. I've got lots of buttons and lots of little jewel pieces and things. Here's one of my jewel trays. And then I've got tons of buttons elsewise than this, but oops, I dropped something. I'm running out of counter space. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna need a fairly good size button. Is that too big? Ooh, what about this right there? Ooh, I like that. Look at that. That's fun. It's one of those shank buttons. I think that's perfect. So I'm going to put a fairly good amount of glue in there. Pop that in there. Scrunch those around. And then we'll get another magnet. And glue it on the back. It's going to be a miracle if I don't burn myself tonight. Just feels like one of those. All right, there we go. Now, you know what I think? Did I grab any green? I did. I grabbed some real soft green color because I have a viney, I don't know, that looks more blue. Let me go grab a piece of green real quick. It'll only take me a second. I think that having some greenery behind might be kind of nice. So, oh, this is stuck. I hate it when that happens. There, at least. And it's stuck again. Does anybody have a trick for when that happens? I think if you do wax paper, that helps. Yeah, I'm just going to set that aside for a minute. Now, I don't necessarily even have to put these because the magnets can hold it. I can just set it behind, right? So I don't have to put magnets on these. Oh, it released, yay. Oh, it just doesn't want to though. I've got something going on weird here. What's the deal? What's the deal? Just gonna push it down. Yeah, I like having this little detail. Oh, I have a teeny tiny bug on my board. There, that's kind of fun. Okay, let's do a flower that is, what color? Maybe I'll do this light. I'm not trying to make these really realistic. Let's do a little rolled rose. That's always a tongue twister for me. Here's my scissors. No, you know what this is going to be? I take it back. I'm going to make a little hydrangea type. Aluminum foil, that's what sharpens them. I knew there was something, but how do you get them to where they're a little slicker? It seems to me like maybe wax paper does that. Okay, so I'm just cutting a strip and then cutting some squares, just very random, okay? This can be so random. And I'm gonna have a couple that are smaller. So I've got basically 5 pieces, okay? Let me move this up so it's easier to see up against this green towel or teal towel. Okay, and these are about the same, so I'm gonna do them together, and I'm just gonna cut a little bit of a cloud. I mean, what I really want is just no straight rough edges or corners. So it can be super, super duper rough. Doesn't have to be perfect in any way whatsoever. Okay, and just on each one of these, I could do these two together. Just getting rid of the edges and the straight edges and the corners. And so I'm just kind of, I just think it looks like a little cloud. Okay, now on these, we are going to use water, and I must have taken my spray water in. Yep, it was on the cart. Let me grab that real quick. Luckily, nothing is too terribly far away. All right, so I'm going to use my spray bottle, and I'm going to get these all wet and damp. Then I like to kind of pat it first, but then I'm literally just going to wad each of them up, okay? Little wads of paper. That's what we're doing. Just little scrunches. It's actually harder to wad up the little ones than it is the big ones. Just pinching it together. Okay, so we've got all of these wadded up. So just very roughly cut and very easily wadded up. Now I'm going to unscrunch it and shape it just a little bit. See how I've done that? And I'm going to put a dab of glue And I'm going to take the next one, unwad it a little bit to kind of give it, I want it just to have a scrunched up, and I want this one to be just a little bit smaller than that one. And then I'm going to just layer that. This could be, I guess this could be a hydrangea, this could be a carnation. You could decide what you wanted this to be. And each one, and you know, you might not need all of them because that's looking pretty good with just 3. And in fact, I might not use that bigger. I might use a smaller one. I think I am. I think I'm going to use the 2 smaller. I've got too many things in the way here. So that one doesn't have to be quite scrunched as much. And then this one I almost want to be kind of coned up. And then I'm going to stick that down in the center. And look, you have a pretty little flower. Easy peasy. By wadding paper. Anybody could do this. No skill. Then we're going to put that magnet on the back. And try and get rid of some of all the strings. And looky there. Okay, I think I need some more of the leaf. I think the leaf punch is just adding a nice detail to it. Oh, that popped out big. Okay, now it's stuck again. I'm having issues with this punch. All right. And again, I'm not putting magnets or anything on these. I'm just sticking them underneath. And I could even do this kind of in between the flower and have it come up a little. And you could take, I'm going to bend that a little bit, make those a little dimensional too by just scrunching. Okay, I'm going to set that one aside because I know we'll need that one again. Let's take a different shade. Ooh, let's use the yellow. And let's make another hand cut one. And let's, hi Dee Dee and Stephanie, thanks for joining. So I'm just going to cut about, I don't know how big this will be, we'll see. A square about that size. Now I'm going to round the corners. So this is about a, I don't know, 2.5, 3-inch square. And I've just rounded the corners, so now it's a little bit of an oval. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to spiral cut around and around and around. Like that. See how I cut that? And that's pretty tiny there, but I think that'll work. Now again, I'm going to get this wet with a little spray of water. Going to kind of pat it so the water gets all distributed there. Then I'm going to take my skewer and start on that outer edge, and I'm going to roll around, keeping it on top of each other, not letting it cone up the top. And then I'm going to use my tabletop as an extra set of hands. I'm going to unroll a little bit and squish and smoosh, literally, with my thumb and doing that. And there we have a nice little rose. Then I'm just going to pull that up. Oops, my glue's not connected there. Put a little dab of glue in the center. So it will hold. Grab another little round magnet. And put that on there. And now we have a really pretty So we just keep adding to our flowers coming out of our little watering can. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. You should always do design in odd numbers. So I think one more flower. Let me look at my punches around and see what I've got. Oh, I wish I knew where that one punch was. I'm looking for. Let's see what this one looks like. Let's do this blue color, this periwinkle. I'm liking this color a lot. Let's see what we get with this punch. Like I said, I have no game plan here. Oh, that one didn't work. Oh, here it is. I was like, what the world? This is going to be pretty tiny. Okay, hold the phone one more time. I'm sorry I keep leaving you, but I know I have a better circle punch, or a flower punch. I just don't know where it is. Oh, here it is. I found it. I found it. This is the one I was looking for. This big guy. This is a fun way. We can make a pansy. Let me show you how to make a pansy with a 5-petal flower. I might have to do something else. This might not be big enough. Or I might have to do a multitude. We'll see. Okay, so now I have this little flower. Excuse me, I got something in my eye. All right. To make a pansy with this, I'm going to try and keep my fingers to where you can see them. I'm going to hold in the center, and I'm going to take this outer and kind of punch it in. I'm just folding it inward. I don't know if you can see how I did that. And then I'm going to kind of hold it together. Oh, fumble fingers. This one's a hard one to demonstrate because it's so tiny in your hands. Then I'm going to take put a little glue dot in there. And I'm going to put those, and you kind of overlap them. I know this is so hard to see. I'm going to use that skewer instead of my finger because that way I don't get burned. Okay, so basically I went from this to this and made a little pansy. And then what you can do is you can take glitter glue or glitter sparkles and put in the center of that. Let's see. I definitely need to have some of these, but I might still need a bigger one. Let me get some magnets separated out. Go ahead and put that on one. And make a couple more of these. I've got glue strings everywhere. Sometimes it helps if these are slightly misted. So I am going to do that with this one. It's been a long time since I've made these. So it's just lightly damp. I kind of pat that moisture around into it. Now I'm holding in the center and I'm bending it in sideways. Each one, and they kind of tuck together. So then you get that before you put the glue in. And then put that little bit of glue. Ah, that's hot. In the center, I'm going to take my skewer to kind of push it down. And that petal wants to come out. So I'm going to kind of rearrange it a little bit with my fingers. It barely covers the magnet. But I love pansies. These would actually be violas, wouldn't they? Because they're tiny. So we'll do one more, so we have 3 of those. And that's not probably going to be big enough to cover my space, so I'll have to come up with another game plan. And I definitely want to put some glitter in the center of these. You can also use glitter hot glue. Trouble with that though is then you have a glue gun that is full of glitter glue. And very rarely would you use a whole stick, but you're stuck with it. Okay, so there's my little pansies. Let me grab some glitter glue. Whoops. I'd do better if I didn't have lights everywhere that I keep having to duck under. Okay, so I have some little glitter glue. I have this pearl type yellow, and then I have the sparkly orange was just the first 2 I grabbed. So let's use that. So I'm just going to put the little centers in there. And then those are done. Now obviously you can't touch those centers until they dry. Dun, dun, dun. These are kind of like the little accent flowers. I don't know where I want that one yet. Okay, I still have to have one more big one. Maybe I'll just use that same punch, but I will do maybe this dark purple. So this time we're not going to fold it. I'm just going to kind of scrunch the petals upward. I don't think this is going to be big enough either. We're just going to have to keep making more flowers till I fill up the space. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start this with a, sorry, got my chin in your face there. I'm going to go ahead and start it on the magnet. Offset. And you can just do 2 or you can do 3. I think I'm just going to do 2 on that one. And then once again, I could do a little button. Or let's see if I have any little gemstone type things. That feels a little out of place though, because everything else is paper. Oh, I know. Remember I said I was going to use that pink that was just crumpled up? Okay, see, this was just the edge of the, this was just the edge of one that I cut out. Scrap, completely scrap. And I'm going to get it wet. And I'm going to wad it up. And I could do a couple things. I could put the button underneath. No, that won't really show up. That's kind of what I like about when you just are playing like this, you don't really have a game plan. I'm going to wad it pretty tight. And then put that down there. Make some of those come up. I'm even going to trim a little. That part doesn't want to quite stay down. It's all a matter of just creativity and playing. And there's no set rules, you know? Okay, I think I need some more leaves on this side. Boy, does anybody else craft like me where everything is everywhere and then you can't find anything? I lost my leaf punch. Where did my leaf punch go? Oh, there's kind of a glare on that part. Okay, crazy. Where'd it go? It's that big honkin'. How could I lose something so big? Did it fall on the floor? Oh, I was sitting on it. I was sitting on it. Okay. So we'll take that, stick that there, kind of move things around. I think that looks pretty good. Maybe one more right there. Maybe a rolled pink rose right there. I think that's what I want to finish with. So I'm going to take, again, a square. I'm rounding the edges, the corners, not the edges. Just roughly rounding the corners, going in and making a spiral. Put this back over here. I don't want to mist on my design, get it wet. And so then I'm patting it dry. Well, not patting it dry, I'm patting the water around in the paper, just to kind of get it distributed. Then pulling that out. So you guys need to just take some scrap paper and play with making a carnation and a rolled rose. You don't need a paper punch. All you need is a little courage and a little playfulness to not care if it doesn't turn out perfect, and see if you can come up with some fun little magnets. You know, a cute thing you can do with these is put them on a little end of a clothespin. There we go. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ta-da! Oh, I'm so happy with it. All right. Let me wipe a couple spots and then decide if I want to put the word across it. Let me see. Back in here. Okay, should I put garden across in the teal? What do you think? Give me your input. With the word, without the word. With the word, without the word. I need your votes. What do you say? Tell me, tell me. I know there's a little bit of a delay. Say words or no words. I saw over here, I had a little butterfly pendant. That could be kind of fun. Okay, I have to do with just because I want to do that. Plus, you guys say with. So, yay! Okay, this definitely needs to be fuzzed up. So I'm using the rough side of my fuzzing cloth. I'm actually going to trim this down because there's no need to have all that extra. They just did that because it needed to be the same size as the rest of the transfer. And so I'm going to cut that back, pull the transfer, and fuzz it. And I'm going to try and fuzz this several times because it is going on top of another area of chalk, and you need to have good fuzzing when you do that. If it's a brand new transfer with all that brand new adhesive, fuzz, 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 fuzz. These transfer cloths are so, fuzzing cloths are so great. This side is like a terry cloth, and you can fuzz, and then this side is like a microfiber towel. Okay, how much do I want it tilted? Straight? I like it a little tilted. Okay. I needed some creative going on. And I'm so glad you joined me. So I'm going to use that Thai teal again. And we're just going to scrape the chalk paste on there. And see what we get. And I think I'm going to put a little magnet on the back of that butterfly. I'm going to have the cutest 3D art. Now, like I said, you can do this same transfer and actually use some of the Chalk Couture flower transfers and make a beautiful design with the flower transfers. Okay, I took my water over, so I'm going to go dump this in my water so it won't get dried out. It's sticking to me. And then I'm going to take my heat tool to this. Wow. If you could see my work table now, I'll show it to you. It's crazy. Oh, so fun. So fun. Okay, let me see. This has a little pin on the back. I could either slip, oh, that'll work perfect. I'm just going to put a little glue on here and then slip the magnet in between. And then we can, I love it. Okay, let me hang this up and show you. All right, let me turn this a little. And here's its spot where it's gonna go. Oh, I'm super happy with this. All right, got a wire on the back of this one. And I didn't catch it. There we go. Oh, that is super fun. Get it straight. There's a little piece of paper there. Ta-da! What do you think? I love it. Okay, it's backwards for you though. I can't do that. Let me Let's see, which camera is that? Nope. I think I just took it off. There we go. That is what I wanted to do though, because I'm going to pull back and I'm going to show you. Looky, looky. What do you think? So I've got the little butterfly pin, you know, and that was just found at a garage sale or Goodwill. Oh, super fun. So let me squeeze back here. I have to walk carefully because I've got so much junk on the floor. So my gallery wall's coming together. I've got a few more empty canvases I need to do, but I am loving that. I'm loving that. Okay, here's the workspace. So yeah, it's a bit of a disaster. Here's the Be Kind, Be Humble and Kind, Hippity Hoppity, Sweet Spring, that is the Chalk Couture of the month. Dreams don't work unless you do. And tonight's project, love, love, love it. Ah, I'm super happy with that. Let me see if I can turn this around. Okay, so that was a crazy, crazy video, but I'm so glad that you joined me, and I so appreciate when you bless me by, you know, I can't say the words anymore, but you know that button that you hit, or the thing you do to tell others about me. Yeah, Facebook doesn't want us to say those words anymore. They're going to ding us for doing that. But I still need you guys to do it. So, okay, I am out. Good night, friends.